Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, Atkinson student wins DBS reading competition. 300 to graduate as a state college hosts its 17th annual commencement ceremony on Tuesday. And Dr. Lennox Honeychurch works with Discover Dominica Authority to bring greater exposure to attractions in the north. The details coming up.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. First up in the news, teachers have been cautioned to be the watchdogs of children left in their care. The word of warning from Assistant Chief Education Officer Jeffrey Blaze, who says teachers need to show more interest in the holistic well-being of children.
We'll agree that at the core of progressive education systems is the concept of what I coin total student care and attention. And this concept is borrowed from health practice. And it really speaks to an atmosphere where we demonstrate interest in the full and total well-being of the whole child. So we have what we should call total student care. Total student care and attention means going beyond the student's immediate cognitive competencies, going beyond what is happening in the classroom and giving serious consideration to factors that are well beyond the classroom walls.
It's believed the outside factors which affect student health also impact student learning ability in the classroom.
Many of these factors, I'm sure you are well aware, will inhibit students' ability to do the work that we expect them to do in the classroom and to develop the cognitive competencies that we expect. And by this, I mean the social, the economic, the moral, and the behavioral attributes which can impact on a child's learning. And we cannot divorce this from the classroom experience because these are often the challenges which we face in ensuring that students develop the competence that we expect in the classroom.
Educators were warned to pay keen attention to cases of abuse among children.
And I speak also of children who are at risk of abuse, whether verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, or sexual abuse. And when I speak of abuse, I'm speaking of abuse across the spectrum, within the community, at the home, and even at the school as well. We need to be watchdogs for the children who are entrusted in our care. We therefore must adopt an interagency, a multi-sectoral approach to intervention. And this is important because all stakeholders are expected to contribute towards the well-being of the child.
56 students will graduate with honors from the Dominica State College on Tuesday, having obtained a grade point average or GPA of 3.5 or above. Over 300 students will graduate when the DSC hosts its 17th annual commencement ceremony on Tuesday. Among the main speakers, Chairman of the Board of Governors, Dr. Ian Lambert, DSC President, Dr. Donald Peters, and the Honorable Minister for Education, Peter Saint-Jean, who is expected to deliver the feature address. Father Herman Sharpless will be this year's keynote speaker. Father Sharpless has just completed his Master's in Canon Law at St. Paul University in Ottawa, Canada. Tuesday's graduation ceremony takes place at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium from 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A pupil of the Atkinson Primary School has won the National Reading Competition, Andrea Louis reports.
9-year-old Canelia Barry emerged victorious from 9 other competitors in the DBS Radio Ministry of Education court-sponsored reading competition. The children participated in 2 rounds of competition, namely the narrative and the news sections.
16 more Dominicans have received scholarships to pursue further studies in Cuba. The students were presented with their scholarships by the Cuban ambassador, who called on them to take advantage of the opportunities being provided. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Chandler Hyacinth, said the government and the people of Cuba continues to assist Dominica with its human resource development. Hundreds of Dominicans have received scholarships from the government of Cuba. In fact, this year marks the 40th anniversary of the Cuban Scholarship Program in Dominica.
Second place went to Jonathan Theophil of St. Mary's Primary. Third place was copped by Khalid Collier of the Ebenezer SDA Primary. Coming in 4th position was Sienna Andrew of the St. Martin Primary School, and the 5th place went to Ruan Thomas of Pioneer Prep. Senior Education Officer with responsibility for curriculum, measurement and evaluation says reading at the early childhood level is critical for children's development.
Students who are not able to read, particularly at an early age, they will be challenged later in every area, in every other subject area. So we need to work with our students. Oftentimes we hear the teachers blame the parents. The parents are not helping at home. We hear the parents blaming the teachers. The teachers are too lazy. The teachers do not spend enough time with the children. Oftentimes we hear parents and teachers and the general public blame the system. While we are all blaming each other, our students are suffering. Help us correct the errors that we made in the past. Let us spend more time reading with and to our children, and also have them spend more time reading to us.
Barry will go on to represent Dominica in the OECS leg of the reading competition later this year. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Potential entrepreneurs in the north looking to make a living providing various services for new hotels there have received invaluable advice from some of the best in the business. Proprietor of Jungle Bay Resort and Spa Sam Raphael and representatives of Cabrit's Resort Kempinski were among guest speakers at a forum organized for youth from Cottage who are looking to benefit from the new tourism opportunities. Sam Raphael spoke on entrepreneurship and tourism, stressing consistent service and good value.
You better come to me with value and I'll buy from you. So you need to ensure that whatever you do, you provide high level of consistent service and good value.
Raphael also impressed on his audience the importance of having the right attitude.
And I don't just want to be general about that, because sometimes we always look at somebody else having a bad attitude, right? Everything I say to you that needs to improve, you think of who else needs to improve that, right? Right? Because we're Dominicans, it's not my fault, right? Huh? I lived away most of my life, and when I came back, I learned the phrase, it's not my fault. That absolves us, right? It's not my fault. I gave a lady a ride. It was in the north too, you know. You northerners, huh? I gave a lady a ride around Calibishi area, and a nice lady, you know. I didn't realize she had a bag of charcoal that was in her bag, you know. So she put the coal on the back seat of my car, and when the woman picked up charcoal on the car, and she turned to me and said, "Oh, it's not my fault." So I said, "It's my fault because I gave you a ride, right?" We need to take that look in the mirror and see how we improve, and not "it's not my fault," and not "we have nothing to learn," people. Because all of us need to keep working on ourselves. Don't look at the person next to you. They will sort themselves out. We all have areas that we need to improve on.
The construction of the Cabrit's Resort Kempinski and the Moroccan Hotel are expected to provide tremendous job opportunities for young people in communities such as Cottage. That was the rationale behind a weekend forum organized by the Dominica Labour Party held at the Portsmouth Secondary School. Parliamentary representative for Cottage constituency, Reginald Austrie, spoke to participants about some of the opportunities which these hotel projects will create.
This creates or will create tremendous opportunities for employment, for entrepreneurship, for business development. And when I say employment, I do not always mean for gardeners and for people making beds, the low-end jobs at the hotel, which is part of the hotel structure. Many of you have relatives who work overseas. But there's also opportunities for high-end management, human resource. I understood that the person I had, the human resources, Dominican. Most of the management team, we hope, will be Dominican. And most of the higher-end jobs will be Dominicans. But this is going to call for discipline. It's going to call for a high level of training. It's going to call for a change in our mindset. The problem with these hotels is they are not the first in Dominica. These hotels are branded hotels, which, as I understand it, means that there are other such hotels in other parts of the world. And I'm sure people from Kempinski will tell you how many branches they have in what parts of the world they have. And they expect a certain quality of service. They expect a standard. And I'm not sure if I should let it out now. I understood that some of the rooms there at the Kempinski can go for maybe $2,500 US a night. That is the kind of money people are willing to pay to come to these hotels.
Austrie says guests who pay these accommodation fees must receive 5-star service. He says it's in the locals' best interest that these hotels succeed.
Since we are the ones who are going to guard the hotel, since we are the ones who are going to be the first people that you're going to see, since we are the ones who have the most to lose from a failure of that hotel to deliver, then we must be the first ones to promote and to maintain and to provide the standard that is necessary. And we cannot wait until the hotel open for us to move in. Because the night they open, in fact, they already have guests booked for the Kempinski. 40 rooms, I understand, have already been booked. So on the night they open, there'll be people in the hotel while they're opening the hotel. And so we cannot wait until we do have this big ceremony to open the hotel and then start preparing for it. We have to prepare long in advance. We have to prepare now. In fact, we're late in our preparation for the small businesses, the hair braiders, the winemakers, the coconut cheese, the embroidery.
You're watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle. Si ou pas protéger corps là ou le sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça peut mettre la vie ou en gros danger. Ou peut exposer toute partenaire au présent et que tant qu'il a venir avec maladie. Servez un condom chaque fois ou can sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou une maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. Hundreds of educators to benefit from the annual Professional Development Summer Institute 2019. We go again to Andrea Louis for more.
The 2-week-long workshop is organized by the Ministry of Education in line with its mandate of continuous teacher training. During the workshop, hundreds of teachers will receive training in a number of different subject areas. Minister for Education Peter Serja says both new and seasoned teachers need to be trained regularly as teachers' skills are integral in the success of school children.
We continue to subscribe to the view that a well-trained, knowledgeable, and inspired teacher is one of the most important factors influencing student achievement. In effect, a teacher's effectiveness or ineffectiveness can make or break a student. It is therefore critical to provide training and support for both new and experienced educators. Professional development keeps teachers up to date on new research on how children learn, emerging technology tools for the classrooms, and new curriculum resources, and much more.
The ministry remains proud of its track record in ensuring educators are trained for the classroom.
Certainly, teacher training takes up a very large percentage of the Ministry of Education's budget on a yearly basis. My friends, starting today, all primary school principals will undergo a 3-day training focused on the management of teaching and learning at their schools, while 100 classroom teachers will be trained in areas identified as weaknesses within the classroom for the next 2 weeks.
A contingent of teachers from the Canadian Teachers Federation is on island to help with the workshop.
4 of us will be looking at IT integration, whether it's from basics all the way up to more advanced implementation of Google Classroom. We also have some coding that Matteo he's going to do, as well Ms. Natalie Doucette is going to join you and talk about some counseling efforts and how that can go through trauma-related responses. We're excited to be back here again after not being here last year, and I know that we've worked hard for the past year and a half getting the resources to make sure that we're available, as well as the things that we would like to send in the future.
And historian and anthropologist Dr. Lennox Honeychurch has taken concrete steps to help create greater awareness and promotion of attractions in the north of the country, which he believes are largely ignored. Dr. Honeychurch told a forum on tourism in Portsmouth on Saturday the north is often forgotten, with most of the focus placed on the south. In an effort to improve the situation, Honeychurch has compiled an inventory of all the attractions in the north of the island and presented it to the Discover Dominica Authority.
So we have a line coming from the southern boundary of Kalinago going to Collyho. And then what I did is I put together a list with the full description. Every river, every beach, every historic site, and every village and what the villages have to offer, so that people could look up this document and then they can see all the potential that the north has, whether it's Chaudière Pool, whether it is the various waterfalls like Syndicate, Milton Falls, or up there by Penville, you've got another set of waterfalls there, to show people that, you know, you don't all have to go to Trafalgar Falls and Emerald Pool. There's a lot here. And every little bay, you know, all the way coming, you have various bays like from Collyho, Saint-Liane, Milat, other bays going up by Dublin and underneath Mont Espagnol. You have old mills, for instance, there in the bush by Sugarloaf. There's a wonderful old mill with all the machinery and stuff like that. If somebody wants to invest and do it up. There's Hampstead Mill, there's one at Londonderry. So if all these sites, people know that these sites are available, they can invest in them and develop them.
Dr. Honeychurch believes there should be activities, events and attractions to complement the hotels.
Let us understand, once again, I said it at the beginning, it's all very well to have these hotels, but as Annette and the others of Kempinski have continually mentioned to me, it is important that there are places that these people can go. They don't want to necessarily sit down on the beach all day, and they want to go out on tours. And those tours don't necessarily have to be far away, not the other end of the island. So this is the potential. For those people from the Capuchin area, I've been working with the Capuchin Cultural Group from way back when to develop the Cana Heritage Park. We have the reception building there. We've got the cannons and so on. Now there is a project for a bar, restaurant, and viewpoint, so that people can sit on this veranda and while they're eating, they look across to the Saints and Guadeloupe. And that then would direct them to come up there. We have the segment 13. I know there are other segments of the National Trail, but the real great one is segment 13 that leads from Eugène, Pennville, and cuts across La Ho area, Lepozois, Grand Fond, the other Grand Fond. Everybody knows there's a Grand Fond in the east, but we in the north have a Grand Fond up there between Pennville and Capuchin. And then you continue down Seaman's Gate and you come back to the Cana Heritage Park. So that would really make a good hike. A person doesn't want to go and hike for the whole week, but they want a little taste of Dominica. So you have a bus taking them to Pennville. They walk from Pennville, they go across, they take refreshment at Cana at the new restaurant that is being constructed now, and they get back on their bus and they go back to the hotel.
And Dominica's growing community of Haitian Catholics witnessed the ordination of Deacon Francois Simbert to the Sacred Order of the Priesthood on Sunday. The Most Reverend Bishop Gabriel Malzé presented the new priest with this charge.
Brother Francois, on this your ordination day to the Holy Priesthood, I advise you always to think of yourself as one chosen with this precise mission, to rejuvenate the crushed reeds of the human community, and to quench the flames that are wavering and growing dim for lack of divine light. This, to my mind, is the source or the greatest joy of the minister of God's word. It is consistent with the thinking of St. Irenaeus of Lyon in the 2nd century, who maintained that the glory of God is the human person fully alive.
His Lordship cautioned Father Simbert against underestimating the people's expectation of him.
They're essentially looking for the Christ in you. They're looking for someone in whom they can believe and whom they can follow. Ask the Lord for the grace to live up to that demand. Secondly, in order to meet that requirement, it is imperative that you stay close to the Lord, especially in His Eucharistic presence. There is absolutely no way of being on fire with the Lord if you do not line with Him. The ways of the Lord are best learned when we spend time with Him.
The newly ordained priest was also encouraged to take time to rest and rejuvenate, as he could not be expected to give what he did not have.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Atkinson student wins DBS reading competition. 300 to graduate as State College hosts its 17th annual commencement ceremony on Tuesday. And Dr. Lennox Honeychurch works with Discover Dominica Authority to bring greater exposure to attractions in the north. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.